efforts to reduce corruption in the public sector. School Zone highlights what one school is doing to help put an end to child abuse. Plus,
Thunder.
Thunder. Thunder.
children participating in the Kiwanis Club of New Kingston's Little Bees spelling competition keep buzzing. Welcome to the show. I'm Theodore Henry. Those and more on the other side of this break.
Yo, you know if I win, me look at work and can't get one.
Eh? You want to look work?
Yeah, but you don't have to pick up something since we get locked up a ganja.
So, you never know if you could get a record clear?
Huh?
Yeah. I was arrested for ganja too, you know.
You?
Yeah. I read on the news that I could expunge my record. I went set on a fly fee. But I realized that the mathematically do it.
I never know that.
Yeah. But the thing is that it has to be a minor ganja offense. Like having 2 ounces or less.
Yeah, I'm going to apply for mine then, man.
Automatic expungement is available for past convictions for smoking ganja, possession of pipes or other utensils, and for the possession of ganja where the fine is no more than $1,000. To apply for a police certificate, you may visit one of the following locations: the Criminal Records Office, 34 Duke Street, Kingston; the Summit Police Station in St. James; Maypen Police Station in Clarendon; Area 2 Police Headquarters in St. Mary; and Pompana Bay Police Station in St. Mary. Good day, I'm Lorraine Mendez and this is your JIS News for Friday, June 10. The Economic Program Oversight Committee (EPOC) is reporting that Jamaica's economic account has gotten off to a good start for the 2016-2017 fiscal year. At EPOC's press briefing yesterday, co-chairman Richard Balls pointed out that the net international reserves at the end of May was a quite substantial $2.3 billion. Tax revenue is also performing well, while expenditure was less than budgeted, which he attributed to the election and consequent delayed budget. This contributed to a significant primary surplus target of $6 billion for April.
So for the first month of the fiscal year, we're out of the blocks very fast.
Mr. Balls also remarked that the country remained on track with the IMF program, notwithstanding a change in administration. In that regard, he said the outcome of the recent IMF staff mission review of the program should be positive.
It was quite positive, and that will be going to the board during the course of this month. So we expect that the IMF board will approve the 11th and 12th review, and on that basis, Jamaica will get a drawdown of about US 80 million.
The Ministry of Industry, Commerce, Agriculture and Fisheries will be reviewing the 2013 Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises MSME and Entrepreneurship Policy. Portfolio Minister Carl Samuda says this will be done over the next 3 months to create a standard definition of MSMEs. During Tuesday's sectoral debate, Minister Samuda added that the review of the policy would also establish national key performance indicators for the MSME sector and ensure consistent data reporting, measurement and monitoring.
This initiative will improve the reporting of financial statistics for the sector and will lay the foundation for development of more tailored financing products.
Meanwhile, a national catalogue of MSME initiatives will be made available at the end of June. This is to provide information on what's being offered to the sector across the island. An initiative is also underway to expand the outreach of business development services to the sector, working in partnership with parish-based institutions and through web-related products.
We have made arrangement with the chambers of commerce across the country to meet every 3 months. And at those meetings, we will review all the obstacles to business, and collectively, through a working partnership, we will be able to get the job done.
In response to an increase in the number of Zika virus cases, the Ministry of Health says all pregnant women will be tested for the virus. Portfolio Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton says this is in a bid to help protect the unborn child, which is at a high risk of developing microcephaly once the pregnant woman has been infected with the Zika virus.
2 main possible outcomes of Zika that are of concern
at this time are microcephaly and acute flaccid paralysis, under which the GBS falls. So far, we have had no confirmed cases of microcephaly or GBS linked to Zika virus.
Microcephaly is an abnormal smallness of the head which is associated with incomplete brain development. Guillain-Barré syndrome, GBS, meanwhile, is an illness of the nervous system resulting in damage to the nerve cells, muscle weakness, and sometimes paralysis. Dr. Tufton says the hospitals are being prepared to treat with those cases.
We are preparing our intensive care units and high dependency areas at hospitals, and we will be getting additional ventilators. We'll procure more and more repairs to others that are not presently functioning.
As at May 29, there were 21 confirmed Zika cases. People are encouraged to search for and destroy mosquito breeding sites to help contain the spread. The Ministry of Education will soon be launching a book rental program for high school students at the 6th form level. Currently, the book rental scheme facilitates students up to 5th form, but the minister says including upper-level students is necessary to ease the pressure on them and their parents, who can find it very costly to purchase textbooks.
For those who can buy the books, you can still buy a book, but those who can't afford the books, you have a book rental program that the government is going to provide for you.
Minister Reid was speaking last Friday while at a parents' consultation meeting held at the St. Elizabeth Technical High School. Minister of State in the Ministry of National Security, Senator Pernell Charles Jr., says government remains committed to the rehabilitation of programs and physical infrastructure at the country's correctional facilities.
Our ultimate goal is to modernize the Department of Correctional Services, to transform it, and ultimately to enhance the initiatives for penal reform with the purpose of reintegrating these persons back into our society.
The minister was speaking during a recent visit to the Hilltop Juvenile Correctional Center, one of several being toured to get first-hand knowledge of the challenges being faced by these institutions. The Hilltop Juvenile Correctional Center, which is located in Bamboo St. Anne, houses 98 boys. And finally, the Tourism Ministry is on the hunt for locally made gifts for Christmas. Craftsmen and manufacturers are being called on to participate in the 2016 renewal of Christmas in July. The initiative, which was first staged last year, brings together local manufacturers to showcase their products to Jamaican entities and tourism participants. It's an initiative of the Ministry's Tourism Linkages Network. Head of the network, Carolyn MacDonald Riley, says a satisfaction survey reveals that persons were pleased with last year's show and exhibitors continue to get orders. Persons interested in this year's Christmas in July should go to the Tourism Ministry's website, mot.gov.jm. The registration deadline has been extended to June 17. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Lorraine Mendez. Thanks for watching.
Motorists, know your rights as road users. If you're stopped by the police in a road check, the police have the right to ask for your driver's license and vehicle documents. If you don't have the documents on you, you can ask for 5 days to provide them at a convenient police station. If you don't have vehicle insurance, you can be prosecuted and face the court. If you fail to renew the registration license, the police are entitled to seize your vehicle. If the police wish to search your vehicle, they should tell you the reasonable grounds for wanting the search. If you are given a ticket, sign it only if you plan to pay the fine and not contest the charge in court. And please be reminded, children under 18 years must wear a seatbelt, even if they are seated in the back. Know your rights. Knowledge of the traffic road code makes it easier to work with the police as they do their job to make the roads safer for you and everyone else.
Dishonest or fraudulent conduct should not be tolerated in any society. And for those reasons and more, systems are in place to deal with corruption in the wider public sector. Take a look.
The Commission for the Prevention of Corruption was established to eliminate dishonest or illegal practices within government services by enforcing the Corruption Prevention Act.
The aim of the Corruption Prevention Act is to ensure that the public servant in his dealings is fair, honest, and not corrupt.
As part of ensuring that happens, the Commission for the Prevention of Corruption is entrusted with receiving and keeping records of statutory declarations made by public servants. That's basically a list of assets, liabilities, and income. Public officials should make a statutory declaration every year if they earn over $2 million annually.
And the $2 million is all perquisites of office: salary, traveling, uniform, robing, whatever it is that may be given.
But there are some categories of persons who have to make that declaration even if they earn less than $2 million. They include parish councillors, police personnel, members of the military, customs officers, and persons employed to the Island Traffic Authority.
Since January 2003, public servants have been required to give statutory declarations on an annual basis. For it to be in keeping with the Act, statutory declarations must be given within 3 months of December 31 of each year.
That means select public officials have until March 31 of the following year to make their statutory declarations. So what exactly does one disclose on the declaration form? Well, information is needed about the assets of yourself, spouse, or children living with you, supported by bank statements. One would also be required to disclose investments and life insurance policies.
Salary details and particulars, liabilities such as loans that you may have undertaken, and it also covers the fact that you may have acquired new assets since the last reporting period or disposed of assets during that period.
Such information will help the Commission determine whether a public official is participating in any dishonest activity through or while being employed in the public service.
They are not taking bribes. They are not increasing their assets unwillingly or unwittingly or using their office for gain.
If the Commission comes across anything that doesn't add up,
what the Commission has to do is to report the matter to the Director of Public Prosecution, who then initiates the action. And that is ongoing.
And the Commission is ramping up activities to get public officials to file their declarations, especially since only 50% of the 36,000 individuals are actually complying with the law. Trials have been ongoing. If public officials fail to file their declarations or make a false declaration, upon conviction, they may face a fine of up to $200,000, be imprisoned for up to 2 years, or face both a fine and imprisonment. On the other hand, if one is convicted of corruption in a resident magistrate's court, in the first instance, they will face up to $1 million in fines, 2 years imprisonment, or both. If one is a repeat offender, the fine goes up to $3 million, 3 years in prison, or both. The penalties get stiffer if one is convicted of corruption in the circuit court. First offenders will face up to $5 million in fines, up to 5 years in prison, or both. For repeat offenders, it's up to $10 million, up to 10 years in prison, or both. The Commission for the Prevention of Corruption, using statutory declarations to assess the assets and liabilities of select public officials, stamping out dishonest practices, building integrity in the public service. For more information, contact the Commission at 968-6227 or visit their website cpcpd.gov.jm.
Your child. I am your child. I am your child. I am your child.
I am your child.
I am your child. I am your child. I am your child.
No child is just your child.
No child is just my child. Every child is Jamaica's future.
Every youth coming like a man.
We must do better.
They are all our children.
I am your child.
Government has been implementing a number of measures to put an end to child abuse. But this initiative is not limited to state agencies. Everyone has a role to play, even stakeholders in the education sector. That and more inside School Zone.
Listen to the voices, crying to be free. Can we be the promise that we promised to be?
Hands across Woolmers against child abuse. You need to stick around for this one. Plus, In the Zone shares a snippet of the Kiwani's Little B spelling competition. All this and more in today's show.
Night chills in plenty town.
Students holding hands and standing together, voices chanting in solidarity with one sound message: stop child abuse. It was a message made clear by the combined schools that form the Woolmers Group of Trust Schools as they decided to take a stand and lend their support to this major issue.
Most of the children in Jamaica are being abused, and it basically, when they grow up, they have it in their hearts, and then they become violent and stuff, and it affects them a lot.
I think child abuse is that it has a very great impact on children. Like it's very impact on their schoolwork. Sometimes they are very depressed and they have issues, and the teachers would not know unless they speak to them about it.
So how did this initiative come about?
Well, it came about after having a fourth form social studies class, actually. The girls in the class, we were talking about social issues, and when we got to child abuse, drug abuse, domestic violence and stuff, they got energized. They were talking about it, giving experiences of their friends, and they said to me, "Miss, why this can't stop?" I'm like, "I have no idea, but it starts with the family." And the girls decided that they wanted to do something, to showcase their disgust for child abuse. And afterwards, we came up with this idea, it's almost oldest school in the Caribbean. Why not let us join forces, all three schools, and say this is our stance against child abuse, having a human mosaic across the three schools.
I sometimes think that it is taken for granted that the physical abuse is the only type of abuse. And even that is taken as a behavioral modification, so to speak. And when we spread it and extend it to the verbal abuse, where children are being called all sorts of names that affect their self-esteem, which ultimately impacts on how they perform academically or who that person is in their adulthood.
No child abuse! No child abuse! As they echo that important message, there is just one thing these students want you to do.
Just by listening to them, simply just listening to them. Not because you're an adult means that you're right all the time. Sometimes the child is also right. So I think just the mere fact of listening to them will make a difference.
Up next, in the Zone News with our new host, Dominique Boudou, as Resiska moves on to new experiences.
Hey there, welcome to In the Zone News. I am Dominique Boudou. Recently, young spellers from various schools participated in the Kiwanis Club of New Kingston Little B spelling competition. We caught a few of them in action.
Your word is puppet. Puppet.
Puppet. P-U-P-P-E-T. Puppet.
Good job. Your word is pudding. Pudding. She's eating cornmeal pudding.
Pudding. P-U-D-D-I-N-G.
Good job. Your word is thunder. Thunder.
Thunder. T-H-U-N-D-E-R. Thunder.
For an early age, at early childhood level, this activity is so important. It's one that evokes the whole thing of putting your syllabus together, which I'm sure the teachers realize that they have to enforce this to these young children. And so they have to also use their thinking skills in order to get the words out.
And the winner of the competition was
Gianna Butler from Liberty Press. Your word, if you spell this word correctly, you will be the winner. Your word is because. Because.
Because. BECAUSE. 4-year-old Gianna Butler and her parents were very happy. Congratulations, Gianna.
Very happy.
So elated. I was so nervous, but I'm okay now.
How you feel about winning the spelling competition today?
Great!
Why you feel great?
Because I knew I was going to be the champion girl.
Such a bright star. That's the end of today's show.
Play is very important to the development of children. It allows them to use their creativity and develop their imagination. Through play, children interact with the world around them. They learn how to work in groups, share and resolve conflicts.
They learn rules and they learn about respecting others and waiting turns and setting their own rules and guidelines for their games.
Set limits, but allow your children to play. It will help them develop the confidence and resilience needed to conquer future challenges.
Our children are super talented, and we as adults should support them in every way possible so they can achieve their fullest potential. We also have to remind them that it's not enough to just be a job seeker. They should also develop the skills needed to become an entrepreneur. One youngster is well on his way. Take a look.
Children have great ambitions for the future.
Doctor, teacher, fast like Usain Bolt.
But in addition to those dreams should be a desire to become entrepreneurs, creators rather than seekers of jobs.
We can think of ideas like when you come up with an idea, it's free and you don't have to pay anyone to do that.
They use their creative minds and they have it in their mind what they want to do, and like they should write it out on paper.
An entrepreneur is a person who owns a business. And with so many persons looking for jobs, having your own business might be the thing that puts food on the table.
My suggestion is to cultivate in our children from now that they are creative and that they're competent in developing products, inventions, a number of creative income earning activities.
Parents, you can start by identifying and developing the skills that a child may have. Write down their ideas or ask them to do the recording.
What's happening right now is that our kids don't recognize their creative talent. They don't even know that this can lead to their millions in the long run.
But some children are not waiting on the adults to give them a start. Meet 9-year-old Joshua. He's well on his way to becoming an entrepreneur, a baker.
I was at home and I was baking with my mom and I seemed to love it, so I just started baking. I would bake cookies, brownies, cakes and cupcakes.
Anything else?
I've baked pie before.
So do you watch a lot of TV shows or so about cooking?
Maybe 2 times a week.
Like what? What do you watch?
Food Network.
When you bake your stuff, what do you do with them?
I sell them so I can get money to buy stuff for myself.
Wow! Family, friends, and close relatives often enjoy the gastronomical delights of Baker Josh.
Today we'll be making orange cupcakes. To make them, you'll need 2.5 cups of flour, 3/4 of butter, 3/4 of sugar, 3 eggs, 1 cup of orange juice, 1 teaspoon of lime rind, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, and a pinch of salt. First, I will cream the sugar with the butter. All you have to do is just use a fork, or if you don't, you can use a spoon, but a fork works better. Now I will beat in the eggs. Then now I'm gonna fold in the flour. Now I'll add in the juice. Then after that, just add the lime and just stir. And then I use 1/4 cup and fill in each. Now set the time to 15 minutes. Now stick the cupcakes with a knife or a toothpick to see if they're done. And they are done.
Wow, Joshua, so these are the cupcakes that you made all by yourself, might I add? And these are what you call again? What type of cupcakes?
Orange cupcakes.
Okay, may I taste one?
Yes.
Sure, which one? This one. Okay, so you're not tasting any?
This is actually good, Joshua. Well, you're not supposed to talk with food in your mouth, of course.
It's actually nice for me. What do you think?
It's okay.
So it's not too early for you to start your little business. Examine yourself and your creative talent and see what works best for you. And for the parents, talk to your children about entrepreneurship.
Let them know who's an entrepreneur and let them know that entrepreneurship is an equally viable option to income earning as is going to work for somebody. And when you do go and get your education, it is to consider both working worlds.
All the people them with a Zika, hold up your hand. Zika in the Caribbean territory, but we now want that virus take set pan we. So make sure send no stagnant water inside and mash up all mosquito breed inside. More hole in the tin them where you dash way and change the water in your vase every day. No litter, dispose of your garbage proper. You know them the thing they will turn drain blacker. Tour your community and tour your yard for suppress mosquito. We have figure hard dash we old tire turn over drum pan for prevention is the greatest weapon. And special shout out to pregnant ladies, protect yourselves and protect your babies. Draw for your zapper and your mosquito spray. If you do all that we can to keep them away. For we know war Zika.
We've come to the end of Jamaica Magazine for this Friday. Thanks for spending time with us. Remember to keep up to date with the latest government info. Join us online, jis.gov.jm, our YouTube channel, and social media platforms. You may also catch a new edition of Jamaica Magazine tomorrow on this station. I'm Theodore Henry. Thanks for watching and have yourselves a great evening.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.